Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday. It is the first day after the reading rush and I swore that I was not going to vlog today. I was just going to start the vlog on Tuesday because I was daily vlogging the reading rush and that was a lot. However, I have just finished filming Bookopoly, so I thought while I had my ring light out because it's getting a little bit dark and you know, I'm all pretty, and I also may finish a book tonight, that I may as well just do a vlog update while all of my equipment is out, etc. One thing I will say though is that I am sweating, but I was determined to wear my Lion King jumper to film Bookopoly. I am going to take it off as soon as I have done this vlog update because I am seriously hot and I kept having to stop filming and go stand outside for 5 minutes while I cooled down. But thankfully, I'm almost done filming and then I can return to a normal body temperature. So if you are watching this, you have probably already seen my Bookopoly TBR, but I did say at the beginning of that video that I'm going to be taking it easy in the month of August, which will start on Thursday, and I'm going to focus on things like planning my holiday instead of reading just for the month of August because I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, especially after the reading rush. I've also just failed Bookopoly for the first time ever. I failed July. Obviously we have 3 days left, but I'm not going to push myself because I have 4 books, I think, that I still need to complete from that Bookopoly TBR, and 3 days, and I know for a fact that I'm not going to get all 4 done, so we had the punishment in Bookopoly, etc. So instead of pushing myself to the point of exhaustion, as I have been doing, I'm dialing it back for a month, and then for the last 3 days of the month, I'm just going to focus on finishing the books that I'm currently reading, because now that I've admitted defeat on the Bookopoly TBR, I may as well just try and finish the books that I'm already in the middle of so that I can start August with a clean slate. So I am just going to quickly go through my currently reading. I'm not going to tell you what all of the books are about right now because I do plan on finishing them all in the next 3 days. As I am picking them up and making them my priority read, I will give you the plot of each individual one just to stop my vlog updates getting ridiculously long. So with that being said, I will save the book that I am currently prioritizing until last so that I can tell you all about it. So the first book I am currently reading is The Queen's Minislayer by Tessa Gratton. Kind of glad that I gave up on my Bookopoly TBR at this point because now I actually stand a chance of finishing this. I started this book in May and it's not a bad book. I just have had so much to read that I have been doing things like putting Bookopoly books and other books instead of just finishing the last 130 pages of this book. I have 130 pages left. That is it. So this is what I'm currently reading and one that I'm definitely going to try and get done by the end of the month. Then I also have Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J Maas. This was on my Reading Rush TBR and I got 155 pages into it. So I have around 200 pages left of this. I was really enjoying it. It's just by the time I got to the last 2 days of the reading rush, I just could not care less anymore. And I also had a lot to do over the weekend and it was actually really nice just going through the tasks that I wanted to do and I had to do. Because I was supposed to be reading, I was finding so much joy in doing things that weren't reading. And I had a grand old time at the weekend, but I did not read as much of this as I would have liked to. So this is another one that I want to finish in the last 3 days of this month and this is like my second priority. This is also the one that I've been reading the most recently, so I don't want to leave it too long before I pick it back up again because I'm actually really into this story. But the book that I am prioritizing, I am on page 230 of 288 of, so I have 58 pages left, and that is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. Now as you guys probably know, I am participating in the Book Junkie Trials. I'm one of the hosts for the Book Junkie Trials, so of course I am. And this is the group book, the Bookie Grail book. So I kind of have to read this because it gets me a hell of a lot of points for my team. I'm just not really enjoying it. This was also on my July Bookopoly TBR to read a library book. Catwoman was as well. So these two I definitely want to get done because even though I have failed my Bookopoly TBR, I still want to read them. So the plot of this one is that we follow a boy called Tristan who is in love with a girl called Victoria. Victoria is very snobby. She's trying to get Tristan to leave her alone. So she tells him that if he brings her the falling star that they've just seen fall in the distance, that she will give him whatever he wants, so like a kiss or her hand in marriage or whatever. Tristan leaves the village that he lives in, which is called Wall, and he enters like the wilderness of Fairy, and it is just about his journey to find the star. And then when he's found the star, there's like a whole lot of drama going on there. There's an evil witch in here. There's also some creepy lords of like a mountain realm as well. You know, the premise, it does sound been really great. I just don't like the writing in this. I've had bad luck with Neil Gaiman books, but I have had a few recommendations. People have told me to read, I think, Neverwhere and also The Ocean at the End of the Lane if I want to give Neil Gaiman another try. I have previously read Norse Mythology and I gave that 3 stars. I just wasn't impressed. And this is shaping up to be a 2-star read for me at the minute, although I will admit at around page 170 it got good, so like the last third of the book, and I'm a little bit more interested in. Neil Gaiman's writing style is strange. There are some sentences that he constructs like backwards and it kind of interrupts the flow when I'm reading. And then I also find the dialogue in this to be really tedious, like the conversations just... I can't even really describe the reasons that I don't like Neil Gaiman's writing style very well, but just the dialogue, the back and forth between the characters, and 2 characters will be talking, and I understand the feel and the style that it's supposed to convey. It's like a very whimsical fairy tale style. 2 characters will be talking to each other, but they will be talking at each other. So one character will be talking about something or telling a story, but like in a conversation, and the other character will be asking questions, and then the original character will misinterpret the question. I'm not doing a very good job of describing it, but it's kind of like Tweedledum and Tweedledee in Alice in Wonderland, the way that they talk at each other, and it's kind of in puns and they purposefully misinterpret what each other are saying. It's kind of like that, and it's just getting to me and I don't like it. But I do only have 58 pages of this left. I have read 70 pages so far today, so I am hoping that I can get this finished. So these are the 3 books that I am hoping to get read in the first 3 days of the week. Ambitious, I know. And then for the latter part of the week I will be moving on to my Bookopoly or Newt's Magical Readathon or buddy reads / group books. I still have a lot to read. I'm just relieving the pressure off myself to actually read things because I have to do some other stuff as well. Like I have a holiday to plan. I'm going on holiday in 3 weeks tomorrow, and I have not paid for like a ton of stuff I need, like excess baggage and travel insurance, and we are staying in Manchester the night before because we're getting an early flight on Tuesday morning, so we need to pay for the hotel, we need to pay for train tickets instead of driving and paying for parking. My dad is taking us to the train station, we're getting the train, need to sort all of that out. I'm an itinerary person on holiday, especially with a bookie grail. I'm an itinerary person on holiday, especially with a city break. If I didn't have an itinerary, I would be wandering around Rome and we wouldn't see the Colosseum the entire time because I'd just be eating pizza and pasta and gelato and not doing any of the things I've gone to Rome for. So I still need to work out an itinerary and everything. Can't remember why I was talking about this now. I've completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I wanted to focus a little bit more on that instead of when I get home from work being like, right, I need to do this, then I need to edit this video, and then I need to spend all my time reading kind of situation. As well as that, I do have quite a few buddy reads and group books and book clubs that I'm a part of that I need to catch up on. I'm feeling a little bit behind, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, so I'm not sure how August is going to look, but it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm not exactly going to be mood reading because, like I said, I still have quite a few books to read. I need to read Nevernight and God's Grave. I'm reading 6 of Crows with Jade. I will also be receiving a book in August that I will have to read almost immediately, and I could do with starting at least A Feast for Crows for my own book club. So there are still quite a few books that I do have to read, but with me removing my pressure and deciding to take a more laid back approach to August, it could go any way. Like I literally have no idea what's going to go on, and I could end up just not reading very much, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna go now. I had a couple of randomly generated books in my Bookopoly TBR, so I'm gonna go see if I can get those from the library instead of having to buy them. Then I'm gonna get on with editing my Bookopoly video because I'm aiming for that to go out tomorrow, and then when I get home from work tomorrow I will be filming my Newt's TBR and editing that to go up on Wednesday. So I do have a busy couple of days ahead of me, but pretty much as soon as August hits I'm gonna be laid back as hell. So I'm gonna go get on with some stuff and I'll check in with you guys. Either if I finish Stardust tonight I'll check in with you, and if not then probably tomorrow. Yes, I am just casually out in the garden at 1 AM trying to feed a hedgehog some ham, because what else would I be doing with my time? Hey guys, it is Tuesday evening now. I don't really know what time it is and I don't know where I've put my phone. I'm not sat on it, I thought I was. But it must be going on for like 9 p.m. I would say, maybe 8:30, 9 p.m. I have just finished filming my Newt's Magical Readathon TBR and my god, I hope I can save that video in editing because I was just not cohesive at all. I had to repeat myself so many times and I was stumbling over the most ridiculous words. I'm not sure because I actually feel pretty good, but it could be because of lack of sleep. Last night I didn't manage to finish Stardust. I have finished it today, but I was editing my Bookopoly video because I have like quite a few transitions and stuff in there and I put like some sirens and stuff in. I was editing it until around 1:30 in the morning and Curtis was out last night. He was at an open mic night. He came home at like 2:30 and then he was just telling me about the open mic night and stuff until 4 a.m. and I got up for work at 8 o'clock this morning, so I've only had like 4 hours sleep, so maybe I'm just a little bit sleep deprived and my brain is operating a little bit slowly, but I feel fine. Like I feel better than when I get like 7 hours sleep, so who knows. But that Newt's TBR video is a whole hot mess at the minute. Normally when I think videos are awful, I do tend to save them pretty well in editing, but we will see because I'm not looking forward to editing that. I have like 34 minutes of footage for a start and I'm just a stumbly mumbly mess. But like I said, I did finish Stardust earlier today. I don't have it with me because I had to go to the library to do that thing that I have to do sometimes where I've had a book out a little bit too long and I have to take it in physically to return it and then borrow it again. I do get a lot of questions about what my library policy is on returns and how long I get. When I get the book out, I get 3 weeks to read it and then I can renew it 3 times, so for a total of 12 weeks. And then after that period, I can't renew it any longer and I have to physically take it back and borrow it again. And then if somebody else has a hold on it, if somebody else has reserved it, I can't renew it at all and it has to go back as soon as whatever period I'm on like runs out. But I do get a lot of questions about that. I'm assuming it's because people are wondering why I have books for so long, and obviously I have my Bookopoly TBR. Sometimes a book that I've got out from the library because it sounds interesting doesn't get into my Bookopoly TBR and I don't have time to read it. The current book in question that I had to return today and borrow again was Beneath the Sugar Sky. The 3rd book in the Wayward Children series, and I just haven't been able to fit that into my TBRs recently. When the adult fantasy prompt has been coming up, I have been filling it with things like Game of Thrones because I have to read those for my book club, and so even though that book is short and I could read it in a day or two, just haven't managed to get it onto a TBR. So yeah, sometimes it can take me a long time to read my library books, but I do keep them out as long as I can. As long as there's not a reserve on them, I do just keep getting them back out. The longest book I've ever had out I actually returned today, and that was the Brandon Sanderson novellas that I read for the Reading Rush. I've had that book out since March and I finally got around to it right at the end of July, and I have returned that today. But I also returned Stardust and My Sister the Serial Killer. I know I'm going to regret it because I'm going to be filming my wrap up on Saturday, and this month I didn't do a mid-month wrap up because at that point in the month I'd only read 4 books, but now I've read 11, so I'm going to hate filming that video. And then because I've just returned 3 library books that I've read this month, I'm going to hate myself for having to edit the photos in. But I finished Stardust today. I think this is the 3rd time I've tried to tell you my thoughts on Stardust and then just like got lost on a tangent. But I finished Stardust. I gave it 2 stars. Now I know I was struggling yesterday to pinpoint what I didn't like about it specifically, because those aspects that I told you about, like the writing style, the way the dialogue is, don't really in my mind add up to how much I disliked the reading experience of reading Stardust. But I think as I was trying to finish it today, I kind of hit upon what I don't like about it. So there's the writing style. Obviously I said that the dialogue in places was very Tweedledum Tweedledee, but I think my main issue with Stardust is that it is too long. Now I was reading the large print edition, which is only 284 pages. I think the physical edition is only around 200 pages, and I don't like short fiction, so for me to say that it's too long is seriously weird. But I found that there were some aspects of the story that I liked. I liked the fairy tale nature and the whimsy of the story, but I thought it was meandering. In the style of fairy tales, there were just random irrelevant things that just kept popping up, and we'd have like 3 pages on something that I just didn't care about. And I do think that I would have enjoyed Stardust a lot more if it was maybe 50 to 100 pages and it just got to the point and it was like, here's a boy, he loves the girl, he's off to get a star, and then everyone lived happily ever after. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it had been a little bit more like that, but I found it was long-winded. I found my mind wandering in certain sections, and there were just like whole sections that I didn't care about, and then I'd be reading a couple of pages and I'd find myself really enjoying it, and then it'd go on again and I'd start to despise it again. So reading Stardust wasn't a good experience, but I think I finally hit upon what I don't like about it, and it is that it is too long for me, in my personal opinion. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it was shorter and it was a novella or a short story. So Stardust was on my Bookopoly TBR to read a library book, and it is also the Bookie Grail for the Book Junkie Trials. So I finally completed the Mage Path, and I am just wandering around the Queendom for the last 2 days, but I'm not going to finish much, so it doesn't really matter all that much. What I will say is that people have got a whole ton of points for the Book Junkie Trials. I was on the progress tracker earlier, and then I have like 61 points, and it's like, what have I done wrong? Where are all my points? I'm sorry guys, because I know that the Magi are doing well, and I again don't understand why or how. Like, I think out of all of the books that I've read this month, I've read 11 books, and I think 8 of them or 9 of them contribute to the Bookie Trial. So I have read quite a bit. I was never going to read 17 books, but I think I've done pretty well. Anyway, the next of my currently reading that I'm going to be trying to finish before the end of the month is going to be The Queens of Innisleia by Tessa Gratton. I need to move over a bit so I can hold it. So this is the book that I have been reading since May. I would much rather pick up Catwoman and continue with that, but if I can only finish one of the books that I'm currently reading this month, I want it to be The Queens of Innisleia, because I have been reading it so long, and obviously I just keep pushing it back and trying to finish it in the last couple of days of a month and not succeeding. So while I have already failed July's Bookopoly and I've given up trying to succeed on that, now is the perfect time for me to prioritize this and actually try and read it. So as I said yesterday, I'm on page 432 out of 566. So 130-ish pages left. So this is a very diverse King Lear retelling. We follow 3 girls who are the daughters of King Lear, and they are waiting for him to name his heir. They are 3 very different women. The eldest is very military focused. The middle daughter is the only one of the 3 that still practices blood magic, or worm magic as it's called in here, which is the traditional form of magic on the island of Lear. And the youngest daughter is a star priestess, and she reads prophecies from the stars. What I will say about this book is that it is extremely diverse. All 3 of the princesses are women of colour, and the eldest one is non-binary, if not trans. So there's a lot more diversity in this than I expected. The writing style is absolutely beautiful. It is very much in the same style as Lady Taylor, very purple. I absolutely love the writing. Tessa Gratton has a beautiful writing style. My issue with this book and why I'm not reading it, I am enjoying it, I do like it, but I feel like, and this is an assumption, but I think it's accurate, I think it is very true to King Lear in the style of the story, shall we say, because King Lear is one of the Shakespeare plays that I have not read, but I have read a few of Shakespeare's work, and obviously he was writing plays in 1600, and I'm not sure the exact year, but in the 1600s. Theatre at that time did not have the level of dramatics and special effects that it does now. So most of Shakespeare's plays are very dramatic. We have like his tragedies and his comedies, etc., but they are all very dramatic and very political. The themes are things like betrayal and loss. Most of his plays are very emotionally driven, and it is the same with this. So there are no action scenes in this book. There's no moments of high action. At no point in this book so far, with 130 pages left, do I feel that we have had an action scene. It is very character driven, but I don't feel particularly connected to any of the characters. Like, I know a little bit about them, but I'm not emotionally invested in any of them. I don't have a favorite character. The plot, obviously, with what I've said, is very, very slow moving. It is a political fantasy, but it is only a political fantasy because, as I said, I've had no moments of high action. So while I am enjoying this, I never feel any incentive to pick it up because I'm not in the middle of something that I'm desperate to know the answer to. I'm not desperate to know what happens. And while there are things happening in here, it is very emotionally driven. It's like betrayal, it's unrequited love, it's bitterness towards your parents, and all of the themes in here are things like love and trust and loyalty and birthright, and it is beautifully written, and I really enjoy the story. It's just not compelling, and so it's taken me a very long time because I'm never excited to pick it up and find out what happens next. So I'm going to try and read a little bit of this tonight. I do have to wade through that Newt's Magical Readathon footage, but if I do get time before I go to bed, I'm hoping for a little bit of an early night tonight. I will be picking up The Queens of Innisleia by Tessa Gratton, hoping to finish it before the end of the month, so probably tomorrow night I would be finishing it, and I'll let you know how that goes. So once again, we have a very long check-in. I was planning on doing a short vlog this week, but apparently it's going to be a long one. But I'm not going to make this any longer. I'm going to go get on with some editing, and I'll check in with you at some point in the week, tonight, whatever. Hey guys, so I did not manage to actually read anything at all last night, and then I've had a really busy day today, so I've only read maybe like 20 pages today. However, I do have a library haul for you guys because I went into the Good library today. I had an appointment at the bank, but it wasn't the bank that I normally go to. It was one in the next town over, and that is where the library that has all the best books is out of the three in the 3 different towns that I've been to that are all part of the same group that I can use. This one is by far the best, and I got some gems, so I'm going to share them with you. So the first thing I picked up, I was very shook to see it there, and that is Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Osmond. This is like super hyped on BookTube. Everybody absolutely loves it. Alice Osmond writes, is it Radio Silence? And is it Osmond or Osmond? It's Osmond. I can read, it's Osmond. I mean, I don't know a whole ton about this, but it is a boy meets boy situation. So it is a gay contemporary love story, and I think that's pretty much it. It is a graphic novel as well. I'm sure you guys know, you'll have seen this around, but a lot of people have been talking about this. It was a webcomic. It has been bound up into 2 volumes so far. I don't know if there is any more after that, but it is available to read for free online. This isn't a book that I've been like super interested in reading. It is the kind of book that I would only read if I picked it up from the library or secondhand or something, so I'm definitely glad that I found it because a lot of people have been going crazy over how cute this is. I also picked up I also picked up Birthday by Meredith Rousseau. This is a young adult contemporary story that sounds a lot like One Day by David Nicholls. So this follows 2 teenagers who were born on the same day at the same time in the same place, and it follows them on one day every year. I am assuming that that one day is their birthday because of the title of the book, and I'm guessing it's going to be a romance kind of situation. One Day by David Nicholls is my favourite adult contemporary. I didn't know what this was about when I first saw it in the library, but I know that somebody just sent this to Cody for her birthday, and I have also seen it around on BookTube, so when I saw it in the library I thought I'd pick it up, and then I read the synopsis, and like I said, One Day is my favourite adult contemporary, so I had to give it a try. Also, I love the sprayed edges, but it does really upset me when I see like special edition books in the library because I'm like, oh, that's a collector's edition and it's just gonna get like its spine destroyed and stuff. But yeah, pretty sprayed edges on this one. I also picked up Empress of All Seasons by Amiko Jean. Now, I don't know anything about this aside from that it is a young adult East Asian fantasy. However, it is one that I've had my eye on. It is one of my anticipated for 2019. Now, the funny story is that I never bought this book because the last time that I went to that library, they have like this tacky little shelf that says coming soon, where they print out really bad quality pictures of book covers and stick them to DVD cases so you know what books they've reserved and are coming in soon. This was one of them the last time that I went to that library very early this year, maybe February or March, and since then every couple of weeks or so I search for this book in the library database so that I can reserve it, and it never shows up. So I thought that maybe they hadn't actually gotten it in, but they had. It's just apparently not on the library database, but I finally have it now. Like I said, I don't know much about this one aside from that it's a young adult East Asian fantasy, but you guys know that I do love my East Asian fantasy. Now, the last one that I got, a lot of you will be excited to see, and I actually checked for this when I went to my local library yesterday and they didn't have a copy in stock. So on a whim, as I was leaving the library today with my stack of books, I headed into the children's section to see if they had a copy of this book, and they did, and that is Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow. Now, this is a children's book that everybody seems to love. I'm not sure that I believe how much everybody loves this book because I'm always a little bit dubious about children's books, and I'm like, it's a children's book. Surely you can't love it that much. It can't be that good when you're like 25, but apparently it is. Apparently this book is amazing, so I am going to give it a try. I know Gavin will be very happy to see this. He's just read this and loved it, and Gavin also really likes reading children's books. Rachel has read and loved this as well, and so has Cody. So all of my friends like it, so I probably will too. I'm always just a little bit dubious about children's books when I don't personally have nostalgia attached to them. So the plot of this is that we follow a girl called Morrigan Crow who is regarded as the cursed child of her town. Everything that goes wrong in the town is blamed on her, and I think when she reaches her 10th birthday, it might be her 10th, it might not, she believes she's going to die because that's just what happens to cursed children. However, on her birthday, a man called Jupiter North turns up and sweeps her away to Nevermore. I then believe that there is a competition of some sort, although I don't know what the nature of it is, and this has been compared to Harry Potter in feel, so it makes people feel the same way that they felt when they read Harry Potter, but it is not that similar to Harry Potter. Like, it's not a rip-off or anything, it is its own story. So these are the 4 books that I got out from the library today. I'm kind of sad that I went to the library today because I did film and edit my Newt's Magical Readathon TBR last night, but I kind of wish I'd had these when I was doing that, because then I could read some of them. As these are more popular books from the library, I hope that people don't reserve them and I have to take them back before I get a chance to read them, because I'm not sure when I will get a chance to read them, but I am very excited about all of these, so I do hope it's soon. You guys know I am being a little bit more laid back in August with my TBR, and I'm not going to worry too much about reading all of the books. And as the Newt's Magical Readathon is, I don't want to say a chill readathon because there are a hell of a lot of prompts, but I am able to swap books on my TBR if I feel like it. I know that Nevermore will fulfill the prompt to read a book between 350 and 390 pages, which I was struggling to fill for the notes, so I may swap some of them out, I may not, we will have to see. But I am very excited to get to all of these. Hey guys, so I can't stay long. I haven't finished any books, although I have just been listening to the audiobook for Startled by His Fairy Shorts, which is on both my Bookopoly CBR to read an audiobook and also my Newt's TBR, the first prompt for Herbology, which is again to listen to an audiobook. But that is not why I'm here today. I have just parked my car. I am in the car park that I park in York, and I am off to go and meet Gavin. I am a teensy bit late because the traffic was a nightmare, so I can't stay long, but the next clip that you will see, Gavin should be with me, which is very exciting. I'm not nervous, I don't think I'm nervous, but I'm very excited. But I have to hightail it all the way across to the other side of York now, because where I park is literally the opposite side of York to the train station. So I'm gonna go do that, and then Gavin will be with us soon.
Today is gonna be a little something more. I've got a plan in mind, a special thing in store. The light bulb inside my head says, get out and play, 'cause you never feel this way.
I don't know who's beating this.
You've got like beige jeans. I thought you took your pants off.
What? Was I supposed to take anything off?
No, I thought you took your pants off because your pants are
I
beige.
should have done. I was going to part there. I hope nobody comes up and says, where's my glass of wine? Where's my wine? Oh, over here. Oh, can I pick it up? Oh, this. I'll use this. How do I look?
You look beautiful.
What does Cersei Lannister say?
Not a lot, she just sips wine.
Kill them all.
Look like you're really interested in books.
Oh yes, this is a good one.
Like the vlogging. Shut my head off. Is the vlogging camera.
Who
there
needs,
we go.
Who needs your
Let's
head?
move Simba.
Let's know.
Hey guys.
Oh, is it recording?
Yeah.
How do you know?
It says record on the corner.
Hello. Hello. We've had the best day today, haven't we?
We have. Well, you will have seen Gavin getting into a dress.
Yes. Oh yeah, by now? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have.
But
And
we
that
didn't
looks so
vlog.
good.
We didn't vlog because
didn't
there was
vlog.
a guy there.
Oh yeah, there was a... he was kind of cute.
He was, yeah. Like a bit of a dilf.
He was a bit of a dilf. But yeah, it was like really fun though. But like there was a weird like table.
So you couldn't like take a picture from like front on.
Why would you put that right in front of the Iron Throne?
I don't know, because that's like the feature of the room that you can sit on. Well, it's made out of wood.
Yeah. It felt just like the real thing. I mean, I sat on it twice. One normally and one on Becca's knee.
Don't talk about penetration.
I wasn't gonna go there. Yeah, but I had a needle up my bum.
Not for the first time.
Not for the first time. When I was sitting on...
There we go. There we
got
go.
a bit dull.
Yeah.
Went a bit dull. Keep your face there, because you make the brightness so just right.
Thank you.
Right.
Brighten every frame.
Yeah, you do. You brightened up my life.
Aww.
When you walk through those doors. Although
What doors?
there were no doors. The metaphorical doors. The metaphorical doors of my life.
Oh, they were. Gavin, give what? Hello.
Hello.
Where are my books?
Oh, I'll grab them.
Thank you. Gav brought me some books, so we'll do a impromptu book haul.
Yeah, we will. Oh, we've got something else in there as well. Oh, it's
I
okay.
do, yeah. Bought him a little present while I'm cheating on him with Gav today. So the first thing he got me is Alice in Wonderland by Simon James Green, and he also had this signed and personalised to me, because he's an awesome guy.
Yeah, I am.
Do you want to tell them what it's about? Because I don't know.
It's about a young boy called Alex, and he falls in love with a guy at his work. I keep looking up there, I should be looking there. Falls in love with a guy at his work because he starts working at a theme park called Wonderland, and there are people out to get Wonderland and trying to get out of business. So they kind of team up, they fall in love. It's very cute. I gave it 4 stars. More like 3.5.
It's male, isn't it? Male romance.
Male romance, just the way I like it.
Although there's a bit of is there a bit of cheating in it? Or like, is he straight or something?
Oh, one of them, yeah. One of them, it's stupid. I'm not even gonna say it's stupid.
And the second thing he got me was Land of Raw, which is the Waterstones Children's Book of the Month for
At the minute,
August.
yeah.
And it is a cross between
Jumanji and
The Neverending Story.
Turn Around.
Nice one.
Look at what you see in her face. I'm trying to learn the lyrics, but I don't know them all yet.
Curtis hasn't seen Neverending Story.
Shut
It came
the
on in
front door.
Stranger Things, and he was like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "It's the
Oh my
Neverending Story."
God. You know what? I've never really liked it that much.
So this is it's a very nice quality book. The end pages,
it's so good.
the
It's
end
so
pages,
good.
and it has foldouts, and it has illustrations to it, doesn't it?
By Ben Mantle.
Yes.
Yeah, look how pretty that is. And Becca needs to step up her middle grade A game.
It's true. I've only read like maybe 5 middle grade books this year,
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah, probably not.
I always want to read them, but like I keep saying, on my Bookopoly board, I have a slot for adult fantasy and young adult fantasy. I don't have just fantasy.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to get them.
No, we need to rectify that.
We do. But they should be pretty quick reads.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm halfway through. If I didn't have work, I would have finished it by now. And if I didn't have a screaming woman behind me at the train, then I would have finished it by now. That is gorgeous. Oh, and there's a scarecrow there as well. That scarecrow, he's very scary. And you can tell.
He scarecrows.
He scarecrows, he scares people.
Bloody hell.
I know.
What a dick.
I know. It's not really middle grade, it's too scary to be a middle grade.
That was my book haul. We've been to the charity shops, but I haven't found anything. Oh,
No.
Gav did though.
Oh yeah, Becca based my cherry, as she usually does.
So like any time I meet up with somebody, I pop some sort of cherry.
That makes it sound so, what's the word? Slaggish.
Yeah. Thank you.
I got Meddling Kids by Edgar Santiro, something like that. But it's like Scooby-Doo, and it's like a sci-fi horror thing, I think, where Fred is dead, and but like you can see it on the cover there, so it's not a spoiler. And
I like the design looks like it's been folded in half.
yeah. It's like kind of like a newspaper-ish kind of thing. But yeah, it's kind of more adult Scooby-Doo, which I'm into. You know, I love me some Scooby-Doo.
I love me some
Have you ever
Scooby-Doo
seen
too.
Scooby-Doo too?
Yes.
The part where Velma goes, "Who's your mommy?" I do that all the time. But I do that to my cats because I'm like, "Who's your I mean, no, that's weird. Okay, I don't do that actually. I played a game before as well.
Yeah, we did.
Called Addicted.
Yeah, we did.
It was so funny.
In the Disney store.
In the Disney store. And it was so funny. Oh, I wish I'd have saved it for now actually. I didn't realise I'd actually vlog with you, so.
That's the only reason I'm here. I need the footage.
Oh, no. You need to make your vlog actually interesting by having me in it.
Rude.
For the first time.
Rude.
I kid.
So we're gonna go pay for some more parking, and then we're gonna go to the Harry Potter streets and get some food.
I like how that's just started wiggling as well. Yes. It looks so weird. Like, what is it?
It was a sunflower. It died.
Oh.
So I will check in with you later, and maybe Gav will as well, but probably not.
This is what I use for my vlogs. It's so cool though. Look at that Elsa. But yeah, that's all I use for now. Then when I get Becca moolah, then I will get a proper camera.
You can sell on the candles that I keep giving to you.
I don't want to though. They're too sentimental. Oh, hang on. You did get me some candles as well.
I did give you some candles.
I wanted to quickly show them off before you back my phone ties or whatever.
Okay.
They're in here somewhere. I've got my coat in the way. Oh, is that a dildo? No, it's not. Hang on. I've got one. I've got Swish and Flick, which is beautiful. I don't have this one yet. And the Oasis as well, which is my favourite one of all time. Give it a sniff. Oh.
That's the one that I was making in my Reading Rush vlog with the swirly colours.
Oh, right.
That's that one.
Oh, God. I could inhale it. I could just smell it.
It is nice.
It's
nice
like
smell.
that's my favourite one. So if you're going to go on to Grace and Honey UK and Make sure that you go into the description for a 10% off discount code.
Oh yeah.
Bye!
You still haven't got my outro down yet then?
No, I haven't. No, I'm just like, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads.
Shall I do it?
Yeah, do it please.
Right.
Okay.
So that's it for my vlog update with Gavin. What? I don't even know what I'm into. Oh, what is it?
It's because you don't like, do an outro on your vlogs. It's like, pretend this is Bookopoly.
So that is it for my vlog update with Gavin. If you head into my description box, you'll... No.
Yeah, if you
head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish body butter and candle website, the Instagram for that, and a 10% off discount code. That's it from us today, guys.
Bye!
It's my lucky day, my lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day. Slept in, cause I don't care, and didn't make the bed. Sip coffee on my couch, what can I do instead? No work, it's only fun, cause it's all okay. Cause you never feel this way. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day. It's my lucky day, my lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day. 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 Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day.
Come on, get in. Get in. Come on, it's not even deep. Oh, she's in. Get enough. Let it. So I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I live across the road from a caravan park and I have no fucking clue what they're doing behind those bushes. But as you can probably hear, it's very loud. Everybody wants to know the way. So I found out what they're doing. They're doing karaoke and it's horrific. Save me. Hey guys, so I haven't checked in with you properly in a couple of days. I mean, I did check in with you yesterday when Gavin was here, but not like on my own regarding reading updates. So I don't have any of my stuff with me at the moment because I have pretty much just got home from the forest. I'm sorry if you can still hear the karaoke going on outside. It's going to be very annoying, I know. I have managed to finish one book, and that was Startled by His Fairy Shorts by Louise Renison. I told you that I was reading it yesterday. I was in a rush to go and meet Gavin, so I didn't tell you what it was about or anything. As I was listening to the audiobook for that, as it was my audiobook challenge for both the Newts and for Bookopoly, I finished listening to it on the way home from York yesterday after Gavin had gone home. I gave it 5 stars. You guys probably know because I say it all the time, but the Confessions of Georgia Nicholson series is my favourite series from childhood, but I never read the last book because I was just not interested in reading at the time that the last book was released. I was more interested in socialising and spent a lot of time with my friends. So I am rereading or listening to an audiobook the entire series so that I can catch up and then finally read that final book. And the Confessions of Georgia Nicholson series is a young adult contemporary coming of age story that's told in diary format about a girl called Georgia Nicholson. The books are really funny and I'm really enjoying my reread via audiobook because the audiobooks are narrated by Louise Renison. So I gave it 5 stars, but I'm not too critical. I don't think that they stand up to the test of time, so I wouldn't recommend them to new readers, but if you have read the series before, then I think that they're still good upon reread. They're still hilarious and I still absolutely love them. So Startled by His Fairy Shorts was book 7 in that series, so I only have 3 books left now, which I'm gonna say that I will probably get them done by the end of the year. I mean, that is the plan. Can't see anything going so drastically wrong that I don't have them done by the end of the year. However, we are in August and I think I've only actually read 2 or 3 so far this year, but the aim is to have this series all wrapped up by the end of the year. The Queens of Innislea I did take out with me for the car journeys, but I haven't read any of it yet. I do only have around 30 pages of that left though, so I'm planning on getting that finished tonight. And then I have maybe 100 and something pages left of Catwoman Soul Stealer, which I will hopefully finish tomorrow. I am pretty much just going to put my pajamas on and read tonight. I may do a little bit of editing because I am exhausted from the forest. We had a really great hike. The hike was about 3.5 miles, I think, and Grace had a lot of fun in the water even though she was very trepidatious. So yeah, we had a really great time, but we did a lot of walking and I have a headache and I'm tired. So I was supposed to be filming my July wrap up today, but I also had some stuff to take care of this morning. Then I went to the forest, which is over an hour away from me, and I only just got home and I'm thinking it's around 9 o'clock, although I don't have anything with me that tells the time, so I don't actually know. So I'm not gonna try and film and edit my wrap up tonight because I'm exhausted. I will put that up on Monday instead. I'll film it and edit it tomorrow and put it up on Monday, and it'll just have to be late because honestly I'm taking August easy, and that means like not filming videos in this mindset, especially when it's my wrap up, and I have a lot to say because I read 11 books. So I'm gonna go put some pajamas on and do some reading, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow or when I finish the Queens of Innislea to let you know what I thought of that, and then obviously eventually wrap up the vlog. Hey guys, so I am just about to start filming the first part of my July wrap up. I have decided to split it into 2 parts. I didn't do a mid-month wrap up in July because at the point that we got to the middle of the month I had only read 4 books. However, by the end of the month I had read 11 books, and you guys know how I can talk and talk and talk about books. So I am going to split it into 2 parts just so it'll work out at around probably 2 20-minute videos instead of 1 40-minute video, which will obviously be easier for me with filming because I can take a break in the middle and then editing. I don't have to edit the whole thing tonight because I haven't started to edit this vlog yet either, and I am doing a live show which will have happened by the time that you see this, but I will be in the Book Junkie Trials closing live show, which is happening tomorrow or yesterday if you're watching this when it went up, at 10 PM my time I think, and that will just be like a wrap up of the Book Junkie Trials. And as I am the Marquess of Magi, or I was the Marquess of Magi because the readathon's not happening anymore, I will be participating in that. So I just thought I'd do like 2 smaller wrap ups just to chill out a little bit, because as we all know, August is my month of chill, or hopefully it will be. So far it's not any more chill than it usually is, but we are only early on in the month. So I came in to check in with you before I started my wrap up because I did finally finish the Queens of Innislea by Tessa Grattan, and I've been reading this since May, and I finally wrapped it up. Now I did give this 3 stars, but I didn't give it 3 stars for the reason that I normally give books 3 stars. In my rating system, a 3-star rating generally means I didn't feel any particular way about it. So I liked it okay. There's nothing that I particularly disliked about it, but I didn't love it. This is a little bit different because there are plenty of aspects that I really wholeheartedly love about this book, but there are also quite a few things that brought it down a little bit for me, and I will admit that a lot of that is my own perception of what this book would be, as opposed to the book doing things wrong. I kind of don't want a 3-star rating from me to put you off this. What I kind of want is for you to think about the things that I didn't like or the things that I marked it down for, and if that is something that you guys do enjoy about books, then I think that you will absolutely love this. So essentially, I really loved the writing. The writing was absolutely perfect. You guys may remember that when I started this book, I thought it was going to be my new favourite book of all time because the writing was absolutely stunning. It's very purple prose, it's very Laini Taylor-esque. It's a big chunky fantasy, which you guys know I love, and it had all of the ingredients to be one of my favourite books ever. I knew going into this that this was a retelling of King Lear, but then if you think that The Lion King is a retelling of Hamlet, you know that there is like quite a lot of scope to change things and just to draw inspiration, to completely change the plot of something, but to keep the same kind of story beats there. So this could have been something completely different, and when I went into this, I did think that it was going to be something completely different. However, I have not read King Lear, but I do believe that this is a pretty straight retelling of King Lear, but we just have quite a few additional elements that are included in this. And now I was going in thinking it would be more of a retelling, so a lot more different from King Lear, and one of the things that I didn't like about this is that there is absolutely no action in this. I mentioned this earlier on in the week when I started this. It is all politics and betrayal. A lot of the discord and a lot of the conflict is heavily reliant on the interpersonal relationships between the characters. So it is a very, I want to say like a quiet kind of drama. There's no big battles, there's no big action scenes. It is very slow moving and very political. So because of how much I struggled to pick this up, because of how much I struggled to be compelled to carry on with this book, and because of how slow the pacing was, I did rate this a 3-star because even though I think that this book is great, I think that it is excellently written. I think that Tessa Gratton has a lot of talent. I couldn't really give it higher than a 3 based on my own personal struggles. Like, I couldn't do that to you guys. I couldn't say this is a 4-star book, it's really good, when I struggled to read it so much, because that's just, it just doesn't match up. I do feel really bad about giving this 3 stars, however, because I do feel like it does deserve at least a 4. I just can't deny my own personal struggle with getting through this book. As I said to you guys, this book does also contain a lot of diversity. We have trans rep in here, there's LGBT rep, and we also have POC rep. I do think that there is bi rep in here, but I'm still confused. I'm still confused as to whether it was on the page. I think it's kind of ambiguous, the bi rep. There is going to be a kind of companion novel to this called Lady Hotspur that is released in 2020. I will be picking that book up. I am very interested in reading it, and I do also think there is a very high probability that I will be rating that book higher. I did look up the companion last night to see what it was about now that I have the context of having read this, and it is going to have a female-female relationship in it, which is really exciting. But I just think my experience from reading this book and knowing going into it that it is going to be a very true retelling, I think the companion is going to be a retelling of Henry IV. I am going to know that it's going to be slow-paced and political, and then that won't put me off my enjoyment of reading it. So I definitely do want to read more from Tessa Gratton. I did enjoy this. I think it's an excellent book. I just struggled a hell of a lot with it. So now that The Queen's of Venice Lear is finally done, I do just have one book that I'm currently reading, and I have read quite a bit of it today, and that is Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J Maas. I'm on page 232 of around 260, so I am really close to finishing, and I will finish this today. I don't want to say too much about it because I will be coming back pretty soon with my full thoughts on this, but this is the 3rd book in the DC Icons series, which is a series of books about DC icons that were written by different young adult authors. Sarah J Maas wrote the Catwoman installment, and this was on my Bookopoly TBR last month to read a 5-star prediction. I don't think that this is going to be 5 stars, and I will explain that a little bit more later, but essentially this reiteration of Catwoman follows Selina Kyle in a modern day Gotham City, so these books are like very modern. She comes from a broken home, her mother is a drug addict, and she has a younger sister with cystic fibrosis. So as a teenager, she did join a gang called the Leopards. She fought in the illegal fighting rings, she was undefeated, and she essentially did all this and threw herself into a life of crime to provide money to support her sister as their mother was completely absent, and pay for her medical bills, pay for food, and help her out with school and stuff. However, one day social services does turn up on their door with police officers to take them into a foster home, and Selina really does not want that for her sister because she knows that a general group home will not be able to provide the care that her sister needs and deserves. So she does resist them and ends up being captured, and while she's in custody, a woman from a notorious assassin school comes and recruits Selina and says that if Selina goes with her and trains to be this killer, then they will put Maggie in a suitable foster home with parents who will look after her and give her everything she needs. So Selina obviously does that, and then the bulk of this story does take place 2 years after that, where Selina has returned to Gotham City and she starts to wreak havoc with Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. Batman is not in this, but Batwing is. I know absolutely nothing about superheroes apart from the bare basics, so I don't know if Batwing is a real character, but he is present in this novel. There is also POC rep in here. There is also LGBTQ plus rep, and Batwing does suffer from PTSD, so there's representation for that as well. So I'm not really going to tell you what I think about this. I will save that for later. When I finish this, I will probably give you my thoughts and then wrap up this vlog because it's going to be hella long this week. I know it is, and that's another reason I'm dreading editing it. I'm going to go and start to film my July wrap up now because I do really want to get that done so that this evening I can get it edited and hopefully make some progress editing this vlog, as well as obviously finishing this book. But I will check in with you guys later and let you know what I thought of Catwoman. Hey guys, I am here to wrap up the vlog. I have started editing this vlog now. I have actually changed my schedule again, and you will not have seen my wrap up by now because I'm going to put the 2 parts up on Thursday and Sunday because my files for the wrap ups were taking a little bit of a long time to import, so I thought I would put all of the vlog footage into the video editor while I waited and just make a start on editing that. And I had 45 minutes of uncut footage just for Monday to Friday, so I thought it would probably be better to just focus on getting some of that edited and then finish editing it tomorrow. Otherwise I would have had a hell of a job to cut down all of this vlog tomorrow night. So that is what I have been doing, but I have finished Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J Maas. So this was in my Bookopoly TBR for a 5-star prediction. I did give it 4 stars. I didn't give it a full 5. The main reason for that is that I didn't love the beginning because I don't like superheroes. When we got further into it, I think it was maybe about a third of the way through the book, Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn turned up, and I absolutely loved the dynamic between Catwoman, Harley and Poison Ivy. I thought that was great and I just really loved that. I did mention earlier that there's LGBT rep and POC rep in here. There is also some mental health rep aside from PTSD because Harley, as we all know, she does have her issues, and there's talk of therapy and her actually having problems as opposed to how she is in the actual Batman universe where she is just like criminally insane. I will say that for a lot of this book I thought that it wasn't too much Sarah J Maas style and I couldn't automatically tell that she'd written it, but as we got to the end and the closing scenes, it was very Sarah J Maas. It was a very Sarah J Maas ending, but I did really enjoy this. I loved the grey morality because you know I love grey morality, and I think that I really enjoyed this because we followed an anti-hero. Not 5 stars, however I did just film my wrap up and I said about how much of a grumpy reviewer I've been this month with how I'm just not giving books 5 stars, but it was a 4-star read. I really enjoyed it and I do highly recommend this installment in the DC Icon series at least. Don't recommend Batman Warbringer, no, Batman Nightwalker, the Marie Lou one. I didn't like that one very much, but this one I did really enjoy, which gives me a lot of confidence for reading the Leigh Bardugo one, Wonder Woman, which I haven't read yet because I also really like Leigh Bardugo's writing, so I may enjoy that one as well. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say on this one. As a parting note on this book, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys count superhero stories as fantasy or science fiction? Because I checked on Goodreads and everybody's kind of categorized this as fantasy, and this is kind of fantasy, but I always categorize superhero stories as science fiction because more often than not the reason that they are superheroes is because of science. So it can be genetic mutations. There's Poison Ivy, who's the result of an accident in a lab. We have Superman, who's an alien. Batman just has like a lot of cool technology. So I class superheroes as science fiction, but I know a lot of people do class them as fantasy. So let me know your thoughts on that. I have categorized this as science fiction and I kind of am going to stick to it being sci-fi because that's just how I feel about superheroes, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on how you categorize superhero stories. So that is it, and I have not mentioned it at any point in this vlog, so if you have made it this far into the vlog, then this is the end of a full year of my life in vlog form. This is the end of week number 52. There wasn't a reading vlog week number 51 because week 51 was the Reading Rush daily vlogs, and because I have done a consecutive year, I want to kind of keep the weeks in line with the weeks instead of in line with the vlogs, if that makes sense. So this is the end of 1 year of vlogs. Every single week of my life in this last year has been made into a vlog. They're all available in my vlog playlist. That is insane. I have not missed a single week and it just blows my mind. So thank you if you do watch my vlogs. Thank you if you made it to the end of this very long vlog. Thank you if you have been with me from the beginning of my vlogs from Booktubeathon last year all the way up until this point. You've watched 1 full year. That is insane. I don't know why you have, but you may have done. So next week I am going to be starting to tackle my Newts and Bookopoly TBR properly. I have only read 1 Newts book so far this month. That was Startled by His Fairy Shorts that I only kind of finished because I was going to see Gav and audiobook, but that gained me an acceptable in herbology. I am going to be starting to tackle my Newts TBR and be going through my CBR in a more strategic pattern starting from next week, but it is almost 11 p.m. now, so I'm not sure how much reading I will be doing for the rest of the night, so I will fill you in on what book I will be picking up next at the beginning of next week's vlog. So please don't forget to like this vlog if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. But that is it for this week's reading vlog, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you will go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.